Welcome to Unbiased and on the Fence. I'm Shane, joined by my co-host Eileen. What's up, Eileen?
Hey, how are you doing tonight? How's everybody out there? Sorry we're a little bit late tonight. We're on slow-mo.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the time. I'm hoping my mic volume is good there. Let me turn it up just
Is Shane a little bit quiet, guys, in the chat?
That's up. Check 1, 2. Check.
I mean, it sounds
right.
better when you lean.
Okay, no, that's definitely better now.
Okay. Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
just kind of like I like 2 weeks ago I had the flu, not the flu. I had a cold, chest cold, and a head cold. And then last week I was just like recovering from the week before. So today I just feel kind of slow. I'm on slow-mo. Anybody else out there on slow-mo, like not rushing to get through anything?
I feel you.
Yeah. Just kind of relaxing. Usually I'm a little bit more active, a little more hyper.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to kick back and take it easy, you know?
It's just an energy thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
it's like a mellow energy.
Mellow, but like recovery from like a really bad cold, that kind of energy thing where you just feel a little bit on slow-mo. Maybe my brain's on slow-mo too. We'll find out tonight.
Okay, so I got to share something with you that I don't know if you heard last night. I was talking about we were pulling out in traffic, and then there was a truck coming, and we both looked away.
I did. I listened to the whole show today. It was awesome.
Okay, so for those who don't know, we were pulling out of our subdivision yesterday. I had noticed the truck out of the corner of my eye. My wife looked at and saw the truck. She looked back down. We both looked away, and then I went to pull out, and there was nothing there. And she was sort of alarmed because she knew there was a truck coming, and I was pulling out right where, in the trajectory of the truck, but the truck had just vanished, like just gone. Neither one of us saw it disappear. We saw it there, but I saw it out of the corner of my eye.
Both of you saw it there.
Yeah. So that was.
And Biker Babe is the one who brought up her story on the way to ECETI. She ran into something like that. Exactly. Or maybe it was her home experience where after ECETI, she was talking about disappearing snowplow, right?
Right, exactly. So.
And we had an elk, my sister and I, driving up in the mountains, go through the back seat of the car. Remember, It like never made the impact. We just like closed our eyes, we were ready for impact. And I turned, she couldn't turn and look, but I turned and looked, and I saw the hologram go right through the back seat of the car. So what's that all about? What is this about vanishing things? And,
Right. So fast forward to today.
Oh, no.
Is fresh off the experience, So I'm sitting in the parking lot, looking across a busy street at a storefront across the street, and I'm looking at the reflection of the glass, watching the traffic go by. A kid on a bike, I see him in the reflection of the glass, and I turn around to see him behind me, and he was nowhere around. He was only in the reflection of the glass, and he wasn't in the building. So I saw a reflection of either a ghost riding a bike by as a kid, or I saw the reflection of another dimension.
Something. And you only saw the reflection in the glass of the building.
The glass is the only place, and I turned to look because he was going so fast, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if he's in this parking lot behind me, there's a lot of cars, and I just kind of looked to see if he was okay, not really thinking much of it, and he was gone, and I looked back, just vanished.
So gone. Either one of two things, one of a billion things could be happening, but to me, the most likely from our point of view of the knowledge that we have is that either your vision is expanding, so your consciousness is seeing more, and maybe that kid rode right by there 50 years ago, or maybe he will ride right by there tomorrow. Like you could be seeing future, you could be seeing past if your mind is expanded.
Now, keep in mind, for anybody, if you can imagine this happened to you, of course, I freaked out. I immediately went home. I drove over like the direction the boy was headed just because I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's got to be over there somewhere. You're in
It's
just
like,
like
where are
cognitive
you?
dissonance.
Like a dog watching a duck walk across the TV. They go behind the TV and they're like, where are you, duck?
So I'm looking over there between the cars, and he was moving too fast to make an impossible turn between some cars. But I'm trying to come up with a logical thing to make sense of what I just saw. So I go home, and I'm like, I'm googling that parking lot and seeing if a boy got hit on a bike or something. I'm like, maybe I'm seeing a ghost or something. You know what I mean? So I look it up, and about a year ago, it was August 26th. There was an old man that was actually hit and killed on a bike, right, like within that block where I saw this at.
An
So
old
could
man,
this
though. And he hit on a
56
bike?
right? But could this 56-year-old man, he got killed there, and now he's riding around as a boy or something,
Like as a 9-year-old?
as he
Well,
projected and saw himself? Yeah, I would say anywhere from it was give or take a couple years, maybe 10 years old.
yeah,
But
if
I
you're
don't
not
know.
seeing through dimensions of time or seeing through dimensions where the kid actually went past there, but in a slightly different dimension, so nobody else could see him but you because you're a little more awake for some reason. So if it's not that, I was looking at the Theosophist, which kind of is the ruling elite version of reality, and it's kind of Tibetan. And it goes, it's all about Shambhala, going up to Shambhala, which is
Mm-hmm.
perfection of earth, basically new earth, which is heaven. So many similarities about what we discuss and think and believe. And then you look at the ancient old stuff and it says exactly the same thing. And their interpretation of ghosts is that all souls move on. Either, some people believe in heaven and hell, but this Theosophist, Shambhala, is all souls move onwards and upwards, but at slightly different paces. Like based on your activities here for the last 85 years, you might move way ahead, but, maybe someone in your family didn't quite learn the lessons that you learned, so they just move a little bit ahead, so there's like individual aheadness moving up the ascension based on your experiences and reactions to things. And that the reactions left behind that we see as ghosts are extreme emotions,
Mm-hmm.
emotions, a murder, a war, a bomb, somebody getting hit by a car, or like you said, the boy on the bike. As soon as there's a huge emotional release of energy, it creates like a thought form of the person in that moment. But when the person gets to die that moment or 80 years later, their soul still gets to move up the evolutionary path. But what they've left behind for people who can see, not for everybody, is a thought form of the emotion of that moment. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Because otherwise we'd see ghosts sitting in a chair reading a book. But when they were there reading the book, they didn't create a thought form of emotion to leave behind because it was boring. They're just sitting there reading a book. Or with, every restaurant we go to, if you could see ghosts, you'd see people sitting in those chairs eating. But they didn't leave or create a thought form because there was no emotional release to the process of eating in that chair. And you know what gives a lot of credence to this belief? Is the photography they've discovered of photons, where the human body emits photonic light and they can capture the light moving through a room, like we saw with John Binney and Shiny and Nancy, where we saw that like trailers, where everything was leaving trailers. And they can do that. They can photograph the heat of a person moving through a room. So it looks like bump, 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 as they go.
Right.
So the energy's there. Every movement you make, you trail energy. And if something big happens to you, you create a kind of an energetic bubble for somebody to bump into at another time. Does any of that make sense?
Oh, totally. Yeah. And I think this ties into two different things that come to mind. It's like when you walk into a room and there's been an argument or something and you can almost cut the tension in the air with a knife. It's just, you can feel that energy.
Yeah.
And that was just an argument. Imagine if there was a massacre there or something. You can totally
Yeah.
imagine a big an energetic imprint, so to speak, I guess.
Yeah.
You would think
Yeah.
of it like.
Can you
So,
imagine being on some of the war fields and stuff? If you were sensitive, that would be really difficult.
yeah, definitely.
So that boy on the bike, you definitely saw a person on the bike. Was
And he
either
didn't look dead or anything.
no,
You
just
know?
riding along, right?
Yeah.
So for that to be imprinted from the past, there would have had to have been some kind of an emotional exchange that made that person give out a huge emotional burst of energy so that other people could pick it up 50 years later, right?
Yeah, that's very strange, isn't it?
Or
That's why I'm leaning towards it instead of it being an emotional imprint, because then I would expect it to be at the moment of the accident, or at the moment that the energy of
yeah,
the
rather than
emotion was
before.
released,
Yeah.
rather than because he looked like he wasn't. He was
And what
just.
was the elk going through our car? The elk probably didn't have an emotional
And did
outburst.
the elk seem like it even noticed you?
It did. It was from that weird missing time with my sister where we
Right.
were together. We missed about 2 hours, and family waiting for us at home missed us for 2 hours. So we had like three witnesses to the event. And as we were driving back, kind of dazed and confused in an altered state of mind, like, what just happened? Where, what time is it? Where are we? So we were in an altered, open state of mind. And then we saw an elk as we turned a corner on a hairpin turn, and it turned and looked at us, and then it went for us like it was going to ram the Montero, which is like a Jeep. It was going to ram it, and there was nowhere to pull over left or right, so she just went through, and I just watched it. It would have
Just hunkered
impacted.
down.
It was taller than the car. Its head was above the car, and it just went right through the back seat. So
So now knowing what
so
you
what
know,
is
do you
that?
think?
That's some
Right?
kind of a hologram.
Is she watching tonight? Okay, this is just
LJE, are
speculation.
you out there? Are you watching? I
This
know
is
she
just
didn't go
speculation.
through the
So
car because
I
she didn't
won't
turn her
say
head.
anything here, but just a thought, because this didn't come out in anything. Do you think they have the technology to sort of do like on Star Trek, you have the hologram deck, or the holodeck they called it? Do you think they can project like Project Bluebeam? You hear about that? Do you think they could have projected that elk there and it,
And who is they? Is they God? Is they aliens? Is they us? Is they a kid in a basement on a computer, like creating reality for us, the reality
well,
hacker?
this was at the same time
Yeah,
when you were abducted, though, right?
yeah. It was
Right.
right after.
So,
So,
so I was meaning they, meaning the people who, the
oh,
ETs that abducted you to distract you or to get you to pull over. You know what I mean?
yeah, but then doing that then would their only purpose to do that would be to scare us that we thought we were going to get hit. So it has no logical purpose. Like when they project a bear at the side of the road to get you to pull over, look at the bear, and then they snatch you, right? Or nicely borrow you and then put you back nowhere near the car, right? But doing that would have no purpose other than to scare us
Had you already
unless,
seen the ship at that point?
yeah, we were on our way home.
No, but
We're,
had you seen the ship before the elk?
yes.
Okay, so maybe they were like, oh no, they spotted us, send an elk to distract them so they don't think
Oh
about
no,
the
we saw
ship
the
they just
ship,
saw.
and then we saw the baby bear, and then we pulled over, then we had the missing time, then we drove home, and right before we reached home, the elk went through the back of the car.
Oh,
So
okay.
the only purpose for that, if they did it on purpose, would have been to scare us, which makes no sense unless it was the opposite, that it was a real elk and they turned it into a hologram so that it didn't actually knock us off the road,
How
because
close were
then
you home?
then
Were
they
you
would have
home?
killed us. They'd be like, well, if those two people were driving home 2 hours ago, the elk wouldn't have been there. The elk wouldn't have gone through their car and knocked them
We'd have
off
to
the mountain.
intervene,
We
right?
have to intervene because we're like responsible for it. So then at the point of impact, it turns into a hologram and runs through the back of the car. And I'm like, that's insane. That's
Or,
insanity.
or
Or,
they're like, we put them out. She's groggy from making her forget, and she's gonna
and
fall
it wasn't
asleep. Send this elk to jar her awake, and that'll get her the rest of the way
Oh
home.
gosh, that's a good thought. I never thought of
There's so
that.
many benevolent ways
Like
you can look at it.
maybe Leslie was falling asleep at the wheel, and then the elk woke her up, and it wasn't there. It was a hologram.
You never know.
But the whole point is your guy on the bike and our elk and biker babe snowplow. They're all acting like holograms.
Yeah.
They're
And
all
that's what I
acting
was
the
saying.
same.
Like that's how
Yeah.
it is in a video game. If you're watching a replay, if you get to the edge of where the action was happening, that's exactly what you see. People disappearing as they come into the view, cars
So
disappearing
what's
and
that all about
reappearing,
then?
and
How can three people who know each other, we know each other well,
right,
considering we're not just casual bumped into them, but we're not family. So we
right,
don't share a history. And yet all three of us can easily give you an example of seeing a hologram in
yeah,
real life.
absolutely.
But where'd the hologram come from and who's running the projector? That's the thing we can never see. Is it us running the projector together based on collective consciousness? Is it God energy? Or is it CERN? Is CERN sitting there with some kind of a bubble beam
They
projecting
wish.
our reality?
They
Thank
wish
you,
they had that
CERN.
kind of power, right?
We appreciate it. The grass is really green. The sky is kind of pink. Have you noticed clouds going pink?
Yeah. The grass is greener through the wormhole. Is that going to be the new
Yeah, the
saying?
grass is greener through the wormhole. Thank you, CERN. But the sky, transitioning, the sky is really, really turning pink at sunset all over. Well, at least all over the country, because I watch all the sky watchers in our community.
Was that Maria talking about seeing the pink sky? Or no, that was, who was it that saw
I
the
haven't
new
heard the
Earth?
week before is Friday night yet, but I
Last
heard.
night, somebody saw the new Earth and they said the sky was pink. Was that?
Oh, would that have been Michelle's opinions or Maria? Because they were both talking about New Earth.
Yeah, it was somebody last night.
Somebody will raise
I
their
do
hand in the
apologize
comment.
if I mix you guys up.
It was
I
a
do,
long show. It was, 3 hours long. You can't memorize it all. But I was watching It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Do you remember that one?
Maybe.
Linus goes out into the pumpkin patch. It was like 1965. I was like 4 years old when it came out, or 69. It might have been 8. And they've recolored all the scenes. And if the kids are walking during the day, it's a completely pink sky. And I remember it being blue in that show. It's a little 30-minute cartoon, but I watched it every single year for my entire life.
Did you find the original?
No, I just found what was available.
Wait a minute. So it looked like it had been colored?
Well, from my memory, it's been colored.
Okay, because that video I just showed looks like it's been colored, like heavily. It was
heavily.
Did you see the one I was with Dark Wolf? I was kind of jumping through it.
No, and I just saw today that you said you did a video with Dark Wolf, so I'll go back and watch that one. I'm just catching up this weekend on all the videos for the whole week.
Well, to recap, if anybody knows, the band Green Day did a song called Basket Case. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. And in the video, they're in this insane asylum. They're dressed like patients, and it was a real drab sort of blah coloring, like you would imagine.
Yeah.
It was almost black and white without being black and white, because everybody was wearing white or, because it was real institutional looking. It is so colorful now, and you can tell someone colored it, but it's the original.
And what's colorful about it? Like the clothing? Or the walls?
Like everything. The background's this bright green. The floor's this bright blue. Their outfits are bright orange. And
did you and Jerry from Dark Wolf's Den, did you guys both remember it the other way?
I don't think he knew. I can't remember, but you can tell it doesn't look right.
It doesn't look right.
Well, you don't even have to believe in the Mandela Effect.
Fake anyway. Right. But I'm like, okay, why did they go and color in every daylight scene with children bright pink? It's almost like programming the next generation. Like, say a 5-year-old's watching that, and a 5-year-old will be going, "Oh yeah, sky's supposed to be pink. Sky's not supposed to be blue."
But this gets back to what I just saw an orb over here too. This gets back to what I was saying about everyone saying, no, it's always been that way. If we're moving into a future where there's a pink sky, of course.
Oh, we're going to have a pink sky, guys.
It's going to have to start reflecting it so people can.
My prediction, you guys, I bet you'll agree with this, is that eventually the sky will remain pink at all times. It just won't be for 2 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the evening. At some point, that's going to blend, and it's just going to be pink sky.
You know what's funny about that?
What?
It's so funny because when I think about it, it's like, for all this time, it's been ruled by the masculine, the baby blue, the boy, right?
Oh,
the baby boy. And now it's switching to pink as we get into balance and the reemergence.
Yeah, it reminds me of that Sleeping Beauty scene.
Divine Feminine.
Where she's dancing up there, and then her dress and the clouds go pink, go blue, go pink, go blue. And you do think, baby boy, everything's blue. Baby girl, everything's pink. I never put the two together.
Interesting, huh?
Interesting, yeah. You're very aware, very awake, connecting the dots. But still, I wonder who's like, I don't know, who's programming all of this. Where do the programs come from? I mean, there's programming in the DNA that makes a dog and a duck a duck. Who programmed a dog and who programmed a duck? I like the idea of God. I like the idea of God source energy.
Yeah.
The intelligent, infinite intelligent energy.
Because at some point you have to ask the question, which came first, the chicken or the egg, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Well, that was really cool about the the guy in the glass, the bike. And if you search those videos, you've seen them, haven't you, where things appear and disappear on video. I can never tell if they're faked, if they're
I saw some with
CGI.
the traffic where cars were coming out of
Yeah.
nowhere, but that one was fake. But I don't know.
Okay. So you can
Some of them
tell.
I've seen some where the cars start flying up. Have you seen that one? That looks
Yeah.
interesting, but I don't
I've
know.
seen one where a dog just plops down in the middle of a highway and runs through the traffic and gets through alive,
Oh,
like it came out of nowhere.
there's
Do you
one
see?
where a dog saves another dog and drags him out of the
Yeah,
highway. Did you see
I
that
saw
one?
that. If it's real,
Yeah,
I
that one looked
mean,
pretty real though. I don't know though. Yeah,
I
it's hard
just
to say.
resaw the Tesla car with what's his face? What's the guy's name? The Tesla man,
Oh,
Elon Musk.
yeah.
Elon Musk going. It has to be real because it looks so fake. If that was fake, we'd make it look really real. Then we'd use CGI. So I'm like, what the heck? You're saying it has to be real because it looks so fake? And nobody's
That's
talking about that car anymore
and
out
that's
in
funny,
space.
and that's what it was like because that was totally something you'd see out of some kind of suspense or horror flick. You're looking in a mirror, you see some little kid behind you or some kid ride by on a bike. You turn around, he's not there. Come on, that's like right out of some kind of scary
Yeah,
thing. But it wasn't like that at all. You know why? Because there
yeah,
wasn't the scary sound like duh when it
yeah. You didn't
happened.
have the setup. But it's always better if somebody witnesses your hologram vanishing with you because that gives you a sense of, okay, all right, they saw it too. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
it
exactly
wasn't
what my
just me.
son said. How come you're by yourself and all this cool stuff happens? I'm so glad I was with you to see the UFO. And I'm like, me too.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that cool? And I think it is a matter sometimes of how awake are we? Because somebody could be standing right now next to you and go, huh, what? Where? I didn't see it. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
it's kind of this matrix that we're in is kind of an individual experience. So you and your son were like frequency at the same rate. Your waves are going together and you're open together. So you both got to experience it. But somebody right next to you might have missed the whole thing and been looking right where you were looking.
yeah. That's how it happened when I captured that one UFO right before ESETI or whatever. And while it's
Yeah, that
happening, I'm
was
looking around to
cool.
see
Was
if
that a
anybody else sees it. And
did you see anybody out on the block?
no, these people arguing over here. These other people ran into each other in the cars, and I was like, oh my gosh, all this chaos going on. But all I cared about was the UFOs. So,
I kind of feel that was there for you then, like that they made their presence known for you. They
yeah,
knew that you would see it and capture it. It's almost like we're getting evidence. Gene sent us that video. Thank you, Gene, where they were talking about it was the Australian ESETI guy. He's talking about scoop marks, like the
yeah,
pictures that I took of the triangle, and they have triangular scoops. Who knew?
right.
So the more
So where's yours at again? Because I wanted to ask you
Yeah,
about something.
mine's supposed to glow in the dark. So it's like right here, so you can't see it, right? You can't really see
Wait a
it.
minute. It's right
Right
like
here.
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 Oh, is yours on the? Okay, so I've got a mark right here that I've had since I was. Let me actually see if I can get it close enough that you guys can see. It always. I thought it was a little blob of like a scar.
Yeah, I see it now. I see it.
Uh,
It's slightly
I'm trying to
darkened. It
line it
looks
up
like a
for you
scoop
guys.
mark. Yeah, I see it.
So I always thought it was like a blob, like But I got my camera and I got one of those magnifying glass things, and I was like trying to look at it, and it almost looked diamond shaped sometimes, and sometimes it looks triangular. And I
So
was
you
like,
know what
wait
we
a
have
minute,
to do?
I've
We have
had
to
this
go
all my
into a
life.
smoke shop and we have to go up to a black light and we have to stick our blobs under mine's a scoop, yours is a blob. We have to stick them under a black light
Yeah, I
and see
got a
if they
black light
glow
somewhere around
because
here.
the guy from
I got a
ESETI
handheld one. I'll
Australia,
check it.
he says that they glow. They glow in dark light, in black light.
Hmm. Well, I don't think mine will because I used to have a black light in my room. I think I would have noticed it all those years ago.
Oh, I
But
would hold it pretty close though, without burning yourself, and see if it shines differently than the rest of the skin. That was his point.
hmm.
So what I feel like is like they're giving us whatever is giving us more proof.
Yeah,
We've got just more and more proof of what we believe. It's like the more you believe it, the more you see it. The more you
exactly.
see it, the more proof you get.
Yeah, I've been feeling the same thing. It's like the more you notice, the more you. And it started that way with the synchronicities. It was like the more I looked into that to try to prove it wasn't really happening or whatever, the more synchronicities I got. So, yeah, it's like the more you start seeing it, the more you see.
The more you see it, the more you see it.
Yeah.
That's all law of attraction stuff too. The more you believe it, the more you feel it, the more you feel it, the more you act it, the more you act it, feel it, and believe
The
it, the
more you
more you
attract
get
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's really important, guys. Apparently, with all these extra geomagnetic storms from the low amount of solar flares. No, this is so confusing. I took those courses by Tamitha Scove that she did free. So sunspot activity is low, and that's where it shoots out plasma. So now we've got the corona holes and we've got the CMEs, coronal mass ejection, which are called flares. So I always confuse sun flares with sunspots, but they're not the same thing. So now we're getting the magnetic stuff from a different layer of the sun. It's not the plasma on the outside, it's below it.
Hmm.
And we're getting that through the holes shot at Earth. And apparently
Oh, the
that,
solar wind.
yeah, the solar wind, apparently that just really energizes intention.
Hmm.
So whatever you're focusing on the most,
That's what helps the two-way radio propagation too.
yes, radio propagation and aurora borealis, which went down as far as I think she said New York last week because we had a big storm.
And manifestation propagation.
And manifestation. So the point is, whatever you focus on the most, that's what you're going to get with this extra propagation hitting you, these extra waves. So it's really good to check yourself. And when you think something negative or sad or scary, kind of acknowledge it. Don't get mad at yourself. That makes it worse. And just switch to a good thought. A good, just imagine something good or feel something good or think something good or say something good. And that just kind of clears the air of that negative thought. Because I think sometimes our negative thoughts spiral. If we leave them on their own, it's like they're rolling downhill and they get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Exactly. Yeah, the snowball effect.
The snowball effect. So yeah, if you can, like, whatever you're focusing on is going to get the most oomph right now, and I think that's going to last for quite a while. If people say this grand solar minimum is 400 years, that's a heck of a lot of manifesting time, right? What kind of a planet are we going to have in 400 years if we're bombarded with supercharged manifestation energy?
Oh my goodness, that sounds like another 4 or 5 lifetimes at least, right? Well,
Doesn't
I
it?
don't know. Is our life? I guess our lifespans will increasingly increase. I guess.
Yeah, they say that. Who knows, right?
So maybe next time we come around, we last 300 years. So maybe we
I don't
only
know.
have one more lifetime. Maybe it's going to be done in another dozen years. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of nice not knowing. I think if we all knew, it would get kind of stressful. If we're like, actually, the event is taking place exactly on this day and this time, and it's proven, it'd be like the stress leading up to it, you know? So much to get done.
I think some people would just probably kick back and relax. That's why they can't tell us. Think about how many times a date is thrown out there, and you're like, "Oh, one more month, thank goodness." I'll
Or
just
they'd be
kick back.
terrified, running in fear of their lives, going, no, no, no.
Thank God I
I
don't
don't
have to
want to
do
do the
taxes
event.
this year. That
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
mentality.
Imagine people like, when exactly is that date? Anyway, so what have you been doing? I know you've been working your butt off on the Kindle. Really, it's a big project, Kindle. I thought it was going to be really easy compared to the print book.
I kind of thought more of it would be automatic. Like we were just talking about the links. We have like all of these links in the end notes for people to go and check out the references, but they didn't automatically turn into links. So we have to manually go in there and turn them all into links. And I don't know how many end notes do we have. I know
I've got
all of
60, 40, 80, about 150 links. Easy. Easy.
So that's what I was doing today, making links, and then got
Maybe
so
200.
far and realized that a little section was messed up, so I got to go back. But I'm not getting discouraged. Hey, I'll be a pro at it by the time I'm done.
It's just not as easy as I thought, like, because I'm not a layout person, that you would take the print um, words, copy and paste into the Kindle template, and poof, it'd all be done for you. All the links would automatically be generated and all the sections,
Evidently, that's a 5D Earth where that
Is
kind of
that a
thing
5D Earth that I'm thinking of?
happens.
Just copy, paste, and it's done for you. Bing. It's an
That'd be
ebook.
awesome.
Yeah.
I think if they could have taken the actual PDF that we uploaded for them to print and turn it, that would have been the way to go there.
Yeah, maybe we wrote it and uploaded it backwards, but then I never thought we could turn the Kindle into a print book because it has more such specific layout as well. It's funny, Sean Indigo, you remember, Sean, he just did a video.
I missed it. I saw the notification. I meant to go watch it, and I was
Yeah, and
driving.
he was like really talking about um the Schumann resonance and the magnetosphere. And he's like, guys, I think with all this magnetosphere stuff going on, the magnetic field getting pulled and tugged and thin, and the Schumann resonance up and down and up and down and up and down. He said, I think that's causing our perception of the Mandela effect. And when he said that, I was like, yay! I love the fact that people are like seeing that and coming up with that on their own without investigating the science behind it.
Right, because it's like intuition.
It's intuition he's talking about. He's going from his gnosis.
Yeah.
He's
And
going
this is
from
a lot of what Vanessa actually covered
Yeah.
in the book, right?
Yeah. Her whole
You
section
even got
is
into
on
the
that.
Schumann too.
Yeah, because I touched on it based on Nibiru Nemesis, and she
Right.
touched on it based just on the magnetosphere and the Schumann resonance. She spends her whole section on the Schumann. And hey, Sean didn't even read our book, so I'm in there going, hey, read our book. We're supporting what you're saying here. We got the science to back up your gnosis. But if people are starting to come to that without studying the science, that could be like a 100th monkey effect.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
No offense, Sean.
I mean, wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
If
That would be cool.
people just started going, oh, well, wait a minute. If that's the case, then what's the next question? Why is the magnetosphere being tugged and pulled and thinned?
Grand solar minimum, right?
Some people say it's grand solar minimum. Some people say it's Nibiru. Some people say it's Nemesis. So it's maybe all three. Take your pick. Oh, one even says, with some good evidence to support him, that it's the Sagittarius dwarf galaxy that we're in, moving through the Milky Way. So they've all got good points.
Is that the Billy Carson?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like Billy
He's so
Carson.
smart.
Yeah, he is.
He
Yeah,
is
he's a
a bit
smart
of,
guy.
he does really go to the extremes of the Anunnaki and stuff like that too. He's a real Sitchin
Yeah.
fan. But the science that he pulls up is so rock solid, and then it disappears. You can find it online for a period of time, and then it just gets buried, and you can't find it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I found the study, and maybe in a journal like called Nature or something, of the University of Wisconsin study that proved all planets were heating up at the same rate. But now that Gretchen came out speaking, saying you humans are destroying the planet by driving cars, and I feel for her. We should stop that. We should be on solar energy. I agree with her. But that's not the point. The point is all planets are heating up. And you go to find that study now and you can't find it. It's just not online.
When you think of the irony behind the whole thing, just behind the politics and all of that, if anything of what we've heard is true about the government suppressing the energy, then we have the technology to do what the girl said.
Yes, we
and,
do. If the government would allow us to.
But they're not allowing us, But they're like, it's
Yeah.
almost like she's speaking to the choir or preaching to the choir, as they say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like we
the
need to turn
government
her
needs to
voice
hear.
at the government, at the world, and say, come on, guys, let's have a little more solar energy, especially in a place like Florida.
Well, free energy at this point.
And free energy, Tesla free energy out of the
Absolutely.
ethers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the other thing is cow farts produce more methane gas, which thins and heats up the environment more than cars will ever do. So we really need to just all become vegetarian. I mean, if it's a people solution that will reverse this gradual heating, which is going to turn into a gradual freezing with the grand solar minimum, and they know that, so they have changed it from what was it called before climate change? Greenhouse effect. What else was it called?
Global warming.
Global warming. Now they've changed it to climate change. That way, when it flips and gets really, really cold,
Right.
say, ooh, what were we calling it? Global warming? Global cooling.
Right.
Now you guys have driven so many cars, we're in a phase of global cooling.
We've driven so many cars, we're actually making it heat up on Venus right now, you guys.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going through global cooling. So, I mean, anyway, okay, bye. Kids leaving. Um, I'm talking live. I just told everybody that you're leaving.
Oh, she got to change her name. LGE is your sister now?
Yeah, it's LJE.
LJE, sorry, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she said,
She's
Shane,
in
right,
there
you'll be an expert
last
when you're
night.
done.
We were talking about you earlier. I bet you knew. She was probably watching us on your TV because then you can't comment on the TV, and then she has to switch from her TV to the phone just to chat to people.
Right. That's so cool. Yeah. Oh, climate chaos. That's another one that they're doing.
Oh, chaos! Wonderful. What's it called? Hegelian dialectic. Order out of chaos. Create the chaos and then come in and save the day with
With
the
the
order.
solution.
Bye. Have fun.
That's so funny. They just actually name it that then, huh? Climate chaos.
Yeah, Hegelian.
Like,
Hegelian. Anybody can say that word. I've seen it written 100 times. Never said it out loud. Hegelian dialect. I think it sounds Greek, doesn't it, or Roman or something like that?
that sounds good.
It does, doesn't it?
What is it named after? What person?
Don't know. Mr. Dialect. Mr. Hegelian.
Hegel or something?
I don't know. I have no clue. Come on, guys. You there with your phones, you can all look it all up on the googly monster.
Let's see. Plenty of evidence all the plants are heating up. Oh, thank you so much, Michelle. I appreciate it. Every little bit helps. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to the conference. So
How about telling us a little bit more about the conference after you read some more comments?
Yeah, I really don't know much about it at all, to be honest with you. That's why I had Dark Wolf on talking about it.
He's done such a good job with the website. It has its own website, guys.
Yeah, and it's linked below. So if you do want information, go click it. It's right below. They just uploaded. They just updated it. So it's got my information and the other speakers. And I'm actually going to try to get some of them on here before the conference. So.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
So what are you going to talk about? Have you decided? I know you can bring copies of the book. Just so you know, at the to order as an author, they take like up to 2 weeks to deliver.
Okay.
So you're going to want to order a little bit before. What are you going to talk about? Are you going to do Bible Mandela effects, or are you going to do something not Mandela effect related?
Oh, no, it's going to be definitely Mandela Effect related. That's what the conference is. So it will be sort of probably more comprehensive than something specific, Probably similar to my section of the book where it's just kind of my beginnings and the conclusions
That's everything.
I've come to.
That's all the different aspects of it, causes. I was discussing it with my nephew today. He bought a copy and he said, God, because he doesn't consider himself Mandela affected. But now that he's seen your list of reported celebrity name changes, he's like, I really remember Christopher Reeves instead of Christopher Reeve. He said,
well, I know, like Eminem
really
alone,
strong for me.
Eminem, you can actually look up Eminem, Christopher Reeves, and you can hear, because he even made a comment. He goes, I can't help it. His name rhymes with too many words. I have to use his name all the time. So
really?
But he says it Christopher Reeves every single time. And he's said it dozens of times. You can hear him. Because he freestyles. So it's like on the tip of his tongue as a rhyming Eve's word, I guess. You know what I mean?
And Sally Field, he didn't have that one. I did, but I'm older. So Sally, I just caught your cough. I just saw you cough. I'm like, oh my God. No, I'm just kidding. Right through the screen.
What about Gilbert Godfrey? That one, now it looks like got fried. That to me
it's
so
fried.
Hilarious. Gilbert got fried.
And that might be a way to spell a name. I have no idea. I have to cough now. Excuse me.
But I don't know. I just remember Godfrey, Illinois, and let me see if that changed.
Can you imagine if it's got fried?
Godfrey, Illinois. Okay, no, it's still Godfrey, Illinois. Anyway, so I remember going to Godfrey, and that's how his name was spelled at the time that I went there, because it was just it's not far from St. Louis, and I had to go to Godfrey for a baseball game as a teenager.
It spelled normal?
Yeah, Godfrey.
Okay, that's how I would imagine it being
spelled.
spelled.
And that's how Gilbert Godfrey is how I remembered his name being spelled like that. But now it's Gotfried, got fried, literally got fried.
Gilbert got fried.
That's hilarious.
So it is hilarious. Maybe he changed it to that. without realizing it. Oh, Joe Rogan. Oh, we already talked about that, didn't we? Joe Rogan is Mandela affected. He's talking about the squiggly pigtail on the Ford, which always
Mm-hmm.
reminds me of Dead GPK, because I think that was one of his awakening, was knowing the Fords really, really well and just looking at the little squiggle coming out of the F and going,
That
"What's
is
that?
just too weird.
What's
That
that
is too
squiggly
weird.
tail?"
There's
It's
no
like
way as a kid I wouldn't have thought it was an E, you know, because
well,
it
that's
does. It
going to be
makes it.
that conference. It's going to be a nice, small, cozy group, and Cynthia Sue's going to be there, so she's always got amazing things to share.
I don't know. He said they're talking about switching the venue up for something a little bit bigger. So I don't know
Oh,
what they're at right
you know,
now.
they've got more people going
Yeah,
than the original 50. I think he had
yeah.
50 tickets. He's probably got a bigger response and needs a bigger room.
Seems like for some reason I thought we were at 75. I don't know where I read that. So I guess we need to. Yeah, I guess anybody who missed the episode with me and Dark Wolf, I do need to probably try to cut down a shorter thing out of it. But we talked all about the show and some of the guests he mentioned there that they're going to be
Watch
there.
it tomorrow. That's on my list of catching up on what I missed this week. What day did you guys chat?
We did that Thursday night.
Okay, Thursday night. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, the day before yesterday. But all the information is on the website, so you don't have to go watch that. You can just literally go down below, and it says your one-stop information center for Mandela Effect conferences, and that website, MandelaEffectConference.com, is down there. You can click that.
Some bigger channels are covering the Mandela Effect now. There's one called the Top 5. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
So he's doing top 5 Mandela Effects now, like once a month.
Oh, nice.
He gets a lot of views on them. A lot. So
That's
it's like
nice.
going mainstream. It's going mainstream on YouTube. And then once it's, YouTube and Facebook, oh my God, it's big on Facebook. There's so many groups.
There's a lot of big channels that's covered it. It's just, and some of them are a couple of years old. You know, it's
They're
like,
relatively new, but they're big. Edge of Wonder did it.
that's right.
I mean, I'd like to see David Wilcock cover it, and Lynne McTaggart and Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden. I'd like it to see it go mainstream New Thought, where they're considered the New Thought alternative science people, but they're still considered part of the mainstream in some way because they're so
Right.
big.
But even like I don't know, Corey Good, having him mention it made me feel completely different about it when he started mentioning some. Did you see the one where he was talking about it?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, having him recognize it was a big one,
So
and
Corey Goods mentioned the Mandela Effect.
definitely, yeah, yeah. I played a clip of that, but that was in 2017, so
Yeah,
it's
I
not
don't remember.
new. I want to say it was at a conference that David Wilcock was at, so I know David's heard of it. At least it's in the group, and there's no way they haven't heard about it in the groups they circle in. You know what I mean?
It's really amazing how silent the authorities are on it. Mainstream science, mainstream government. And it's like, at what point will they actually talk about it?
Oh, yeah. That's I forgot to tell you. When I had Dark Wolf on, he was using this animated rig to. Oh, you saw you remember the link you sent me about the accommodations for the. Did you see
Yes.
the? Did you watch that with the wolf? That's actually him. His camera tracks him and it
Yes.
animates the
Isn't
wolf.
it cute?
That's really cool. It's called
That
Face
wolf
Rig.
is adorable.
It's called Face Rig, and he can move his hand.
And he's got such a flippin' great voice for a cartoon.
Yeah,
Doesn't he? His voice is full of character.
yeah.
And it's such a friendly voice. And then you've got these wolf talking. It's kind of like a nice whatever. Like it contradicts itself.
Yeah. He really is a great guy. I met him on the first time I went on Unirock. He was on there with me. So
Seriously.
we
I have
met way back in 2017.
Beauty Rock Days. I think that's how I met you. I know that's how I met Dead GPK and Biker Babe. I'm sure I met Biker Babe at Uni Rock.
Salted Cedar.
Salted Cedar, Party Puppy. We don't see a lot of those guys. Banjojo. She pops
Yeah.
in every now and then.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, I went to the Uni Rock channel, the big channel, and I looked, and it's been like 8 months since he's done a Uni Rock mystery, because his Uni Rock mystery videos are so cool. aren't they?
He actually hopped in the chat the other day. Were you in there when he came in?
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, he stopped in and said hi. I was like, hey, what's up? It's
Which
good
one
to
was
see
he
him
in
again.
on Friday night, or was he in Tuesday, or
Mm, I
Paranormal
think he
Frequency?
was. I think he came on when Dark Wolf was on. So it was a
Awesome.
Thursday night. So it was a different night than he normally is used to seeing me on. So he probably just was able to hop in and say
Yeah,
hi. And
I popped onto his comments and said, "Come on, we want some more mystery, Uni-Rock mystery videos, because nobody does a Uni-Rock mystery video the way he does.
right.
They're quite addictive."
Yeah, I think he came in Uni Rock too when he popped in.
I think that's his game. I don't really watch that one. That was his gaming channel.
Right. I got confused for a while because on one he would live stream, the other one he would upload pieces of the
I'm not
live
good on
stream, and
gaming because I don't play games.
right.
It's hard for me to listen to people playing a game or watch them play a game.
Yeah. What happened to
Scott,
Yeah,
he's
Scott?
got another little channel, you guys. I wish I could remember it off the top of my head, but he started a little Mandela Effect channel, and the Mandela Effect channel is his gaming channel now.
So the channel he started is the Mandela Effect one then?
Nope, that one's his gaming channel now.
Okay.
And he
So
started another channel, which has like, I think his big channel has like 4,000 subscribers. And now he started another Mandela Effect channel that has like 400. I managed to find him.
what do you know why he did that?
I have no clue because we don't chat outside. We chat in the comments.
You know, I had Cisco on Monday night, and
Cisco.
right
Oh,
before, right, yeah, on with Sherry and I, and
that was so good.
right before we went live, you know, I'm like, oh, I had already put all the links in except for her main YouTube channel. I'm like, what's your YouTube channel? You know, and she's like, she's telling me what it is, and I'm typing it in. The whole name is like 4 words or something, paranormal something something something. I typed the whole thing in. It didn't come up. It wouldn't come up with typing her whole channel name in. So finally,
What'd you
she
do? Is
sends
she
me.
that's like massively shadow banned?
Oh, massively shadow banned. It was the same way. You know, I looked up my own video. I don't know, a few months back, and just typed in unbiased and on the fence, and none of my videos came up. Only me on Dan K2D4 Network Talk is Cheap. When I was a guest on there, that video came up, but none of mine
Yeah,
by
I
putting
did the
my whole
same with
name in.
mine. And a few of my old videos came up, but none of my new videos came up when I actually searched for them.
So she sends me the link. I go ahead and add it. I click it and add it, and I was subscribed to her already, and it wasn't coming up.
So how did you finally? You
I
couldn't
couldn't
go to
get
her
to it.
channel?
She had to send me the link, and I had to click on it. I couldn't.
Does she
That's
know that?
ridiculous. Yeah, because I was telling her. She like, well, try this, and finally I typed the whole thing out, and it still didn't work.
I'm
She
just looking
actually had
up
to send me
Scott's
the
new
link.
channel for everybody because I didn't turn my phone off. So I've got a good signal because it's not interfering, is it? With
No,
we're good tonight, aren't we? Okay. So what was Scott's regular channel called? Do you guys remember?
Scott Harrison or Scott, what?
Got it. Scott Harrison. And then if I go there, unfortunately, you guys have to see me do this slowly. I'm being boring.
No, are you able to click and see your camera big? Like like click on the corner down. Just click on your picture in the corner. No, just with your mouse.
Oh, I have a touch screen too. Okay, so now what?
Yeah, click on your camera in the corner, down in the bottom right
Okay.
corner. And did it make yours big?
It did. It made me
Okay,
big
look at
and it
your
made you
pictures.
small.
Look at your pictures in the background. Nobody has
Oh,
faces. What's up with that?
what the heck?
Where did their faces go this time? Hold on, let me go big so everybody can see this.
Can you see? Look at me and my husband behind me on my shoulder.
Yeah, it's just.
It looks like artwork. It looks like I'm in a world of cartoons. Don't those look like cartoons behind me? But look, the paintings above don't look like that. Those are paintings with oil, by the way.
I don't know. It's just strange. I was like,
Oh,
everybody's face disappeared back there.
let me see. Okay. Cartoon face.
Yeah?
Does it ever come in? Yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to get clear now, finally. That's
That's my
weird.
sister.
So it's
And
just
my
compression.
brother-in-law. That's David. You guys saw him on my channel. That's the house my dad built. That's kind of cool. Like, look at me and my dad back here. What a cartoon face. No eyes, no nose, no mouth. Ooh, that's kind of creepy. Should I go small again and look at you big? There we go.
There we go.
How did you notice that? Could you tell?
Well, I never noticed that nobody had faces behind you. It makes me want to take a Sharpie and go add some eyes and stuff.
Here we go. It's called the Mandela Effect - Scott Harrison. I don't know if you can read that.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
It's got like 400 subscribers, and he does occasional Mandela videos. So I found him for you guys.
So I wonder if he was shadow banned and that was his way of
I don't know, but I was explaining to my nephew who's telling us how to market our book. Hey, the Mandela Effect, friend or foe. He's like, you have to mention it on every video, just so people who are new go, oh, there's a book. But then our oldies are going to go, oh God, just don't mention that book again. Really? Really, Shane? Really, Eileen? And then he said we need to put it at the top of every, the show more notes. It has to go right under the title so that the title says Power of 8 at 8. And then underneath it, and the new Mandela Effect Friend or Foe book is out on Amazon with a link.
right.
So we, obviously we have to do our own promotion of the book.
Yeah.
And he was telling me all kinds of things that we could do to help promote it.
Well, have we got any topics for tonight?
We don't. We just talked a little bit about interesting things like the holographic universe. We were touching on that, on holograms.
Well, I told everybody last night to be thinking about it, so let me see.
What's everybody saying?
I was cracking you up last night. Okay, laugh out loud, Shane. Oh, talking about drawing selfie or faces on the pictures behind you, I guess.
That was funny. It was funny. And it was kind of weird that all the pictures went, wah.
Yeah. I was just looking behind you. I was like,
I live in a
see
cartoon.
faces.
I am a hologram. Aha. But you guys at SETI got to find out that I'm not. Otherwise, I could say, I'm a hologram. I'm just a figment of your imagination sitting here in a cartoon land.
Well, why do you think it just did it this time? Do you have a different setting
I don't know.
on your
Do you think
camera?
it's still doing it? Should we take a look?
No, it's doing it for me, but
It's doing it for me now. Should I get up and turn the light on that my daughter turned off that I always have on when I do this show? Okay, don't go away. Try not to step on the puppy. She's right underfoot. Come on, move, baby. Okay. How's that?
No, still don't have faces. They're the expressionless ones.
It's the same look. This is the light that's always on when I do this show from the dining room.
I think it's some kind of video compression or something. I don't think it's anything it's probably lumping together similar pixels to save on bandwidth.
Being compressed. Look at my face.
Yeah. Looks good though.
Yeah, it looks fine, but you can tell it's pixelated. I'm definitely pixelated.
You're a cartoon.
I'm a cartoon.
You're cartoony.
I always felt cartoony.
Me too. I see life as a cartoon a lot of times,
Life
or a
is like
sitcom.
a cartoon, isn't it? Sometimes it's the Roadrunner and sometimes it's Daffy Duck. You never know what you're going to get until you get into your day.
Let's see. Oh, let's see. Michelle's, protection over the awakening for all mankind.
Yes, that would be good. Which Michelle? I know lots of Michelles. I know Michelle Me 3, Michelle Wolf, Michelle's Opinions, Michelle Duque.
Well, now you know Michelle Awake and Activate. Michelle.
That is, drum roll, Michelle's Opinions. You changed her channel name.
Yeah, that's her.
So Michelle Awake and Activate. Or Awaken and Activate.
Awake and Activate.
Awake and Activate. Very action sounding title. I like that. It's a very strong name. Awake and Activate. I'm like, yes, ma'am.
Hello, Nicola. In the future.
Oh, Nicola Simpson from Down Under, Australia. Maybe someday she can tell us why they call it Oz. Why is Australia called Oz? Only they call it that. We don't, but if you're down there, they talk about the land of Oz, and that's Australia. I'm like, why?
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
yeah.
nice.
Why?
See, you learn something new every time.
You learn something new every time.
Even I do.
People in England who are Australian, they got a lot of Australians in London. Call it Oz. Back in Oz. I can't say it. I can't do any accents. I sound fake.
Let us manifest proof beyond belief, understanding the glitches. So you're saying other people get to see cars disappearing, or what do you mean?
Yeah, I like that. No, I like trying to understand the glitches. Because right now we just experience them and they're like, what the heck is that all about?
Wait a minute. Let's see. LJE says, but David Wilcock married a born-again Christian.
Yes.
And soon after decided Gaia TV was evil due to
the satanic
Gnosticism and some programs.
And she was in the military. So a lot of people say that's his handler, his new handler. He changed a lot of his opinions.
Oh, it's Oz because Oz.
Did Nicola tell us that? Because of Australia, Oz?
Cameron gets the award.
Cameron, are you Australian too?
Aussies shorten everything. So Oz is Oz. You say
Oz and it sounds like Oz. I see you back in Oz.
Right.
I'm from Oz.
Down under.
Vegemite sandwich. That song. I actually ate a lot of Vegemite in London with an Australian roommate. It was good, but it was, it's like yeast. It's like putting yeast on your bread.
What, a Vegemite?
Vegemite. It's brown yeast. And in England, it's called
Where do I know that from?
But it comes from beef. I think Bovril comes from beef. Marmite. It's
That's
just
from a song, isn't it?
Yeah, it's from a song. It's
I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more.
I love that song, but it's not that one. It's I come from a land down under.
Oh, that's right.
Men at work. Men at work. See, how can I be Mandela affected if my memory works like that?
Okay, so speaking of down under, wasn't there one with Crocodile Dundee when it says, "That's not a knife. Here's a knife"? What is that? You even
sound like him.
What was that one? It's different now, right?
Yeah, it doesn't say that anymore. It just says, not like that one. This one, something like that. It just takes away the knife part, the funny part.
Oh, that's weird. I'll have to go watch that one again.
Yeah, we'll
that was like my dad's favorite part. So
I remember seeing it on Mandela Effect lists, like in 2016.
Yeah.
His knife, Crocodile Dundee's knife.
Let's see.
Okay, so
Witness smooth awakening for all mankind. Cover proof and answers. Some need to move forward in that. I don't know. Not everybody's ready to wake up, though.
Yeah, and what's our next step here, folks? We've woken up, okay? The alarm bell went off a while ago. We're fully awake. We can see the changes and glitches around us. Now what? What's our next step? Our next step is not to waken up or awake. Right. So that's a good thing to think about.
Yeah. So let's see. A smooth awakening then for all mankind?
And understanding glitches.
That's specific, but also.
You just throw it in there.
But also.
I remember at the moment. Because remember, I'm on slow-mo. I'm on a little slow-mo tonight. I've been on slow-mo all day, but I've been catching up on just videos that I missed all week. And by the end of tomorrow, I'll be caught up. And I've got to do comments. I've got to talk back to the people who made comments on my last few videos. I've not been in the comment section for a while.
Oh, no. Have I missed any of your videos? I might have missed some of your videos if you've done something.
My last video was on the Mandela Effect book, Friend or Foe, coming out. I think you caught that.
Okay, yeah.
I've just not been doing videos. If I don't feel like a video, I'm not going to do one.
All right.
I got to feel the inspiration.
Let's see. April saying, what is behind the glitches? Let the veil be removed.
Okay, so yes, that's a good one. What's causing the glitches, April? Can you tell me, please? I'll go with God until I learn otherwise. I can't really, or maybe collective human consciousness.
Well, I think she's wanting to ask rather than tell us.
I know she is, but I'm teasing her. I'm like, come on, tell me, April, what is it? Who's behind the glitches? Share. If anybody tells you they know, run. Just run.
Cameron says, Shane, your voice is so silky smooth. Please keep talking. It's free hypnotherapy.
Yeah.
I would say watch
my meditation from
video.
Shane. Okay, not tonight, because we're not going to put you on the hot seat. Although you do a beautiful job at a live meditation. You would. But would you like to prepare a meditation for us soon so we can hear those silky smooth timbre of your
I will
voice?
definitely pre-record something. Yeah. But then there's the abundance meditation that's available
There is.
on
But you can
repeat.
always do another one. You can always
Repeat
do
on
another one.
silky smooth. I'm just playing.
It sounds like an advertisement, like for shampoo.
It does, doesn't it? That's funny.
Okay,
But
so
yeah,
I have to
I'm
get
actually going to be working on more meditation, audio type stuff coming out in the future. That's all I'm going to say about it right now. But just keep an eye
power
out.
of eight, because these people come to intend and like really boom, like throw that energy into the universe and make these changes. So you're going to have to share your meditation videos with us on Power of Eight.
Definitely. All right.
Now you're breaking up. I don't know if I'm still pixelated, but I'm
No,
seeing you move in a very jagged way.
no, you're coming through good.
Okay.
And okay. All right, so let's do this. I'll turn my camera off. That way it doesn't hurt the bandwidth.
Okay. I hope I get everything in that you guys suggested. I think I remember it all.
So really just smooth awakening and
Understanding the glitches.
okay.
Cool.
See, you remember better than me already.
Okie dokie. I will not turn off my microphone just for a sip of water. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, everybody, just get in a nice, comfortable position and kind of move around, move your shoulders a little bit, your neck, your hands, maybe your knees and your feet. Get really comfy and relaxed. And just kind of take a deep breath in and hold it for 3 seconds. And this time, exhale for 3 seconds, letting go of tension as you do. Now, hold at the bottom of that breath for 3. And when you're ready, inhale for 3, slowly, whatever pace is comfortable for you. Hold it for 3. And when you're ready, exhale it for 3. And remember to hold the empty breath, the empty space for 3. One more deep in breath for 3. And hold that breath for 3 seconds. And when you're ready, you can exhale that breath fully for 3 seconds and hold the empty space, the empty breath for 3 seconds. That's called the square breath. It's a Buddhic practice to really kind of balance your etheric with your astral, with your physical and your spiritual, the 4 main bodies. So it's all balanced. So you can start to breathe in through your heart center. And this time, push it down into your solar plexus and exhale out of your solar plexus chakra. When you're ready, take a nice breath in through your heart chakra, push it down and exhale it out of your solar plexus chakra. And as you continue to do that with your breath, just let a green light come in, clear and clean on the in breath, and then push that green light out of your solar plexus on the out breath. Do that a few more times, and that is a heart centering, heart energizing breath. And now we're just going to reverse that, and you're going to breathe in through your solar plexus chakra. And when you're ready, you're going to exhale that breath out of your heart center. And now, as you continue to do that at a comfortable pace, draw in a clear, clean yellow light on the in breath through your solar plexus chakra, and allow that yellow light to go out of your heart center. And that is a solar chakra centering breath, energizing, balancing breath. And now you can continue to breathe in and out of either your heart or your solar plexus, or just relax and breathe in and out of your nose or your mouth, whatever's most comfortable for you. And as you do so, you're going to send down a grounding cord all the way down through all the different layers of the earth. Let it go slowly or let it go fast. And when it reaches the center of the earth, that's the heart, the core of the earth, go ahead and shoot out a kind of light splaying out from that grounding cord in all directions. And that just roots you to the earth, nice and firm, nice and safe. And now, as you continue breathing in a relaxed breath, focus on that breath a little bit. Now, imagine doing something that you absolutely love doing. See it in your mind's eye, hear it. Maybe you can feel it physically on your skin. And just imagine doing something that you love, indoors or outdoors. You know, it could be with people or on your own. And that's just getting your heart and training with your thoughts so that it's all flowing together as one and you feel comfortable, you feel peaceful, you feel relaxed. And now we're all going to join hands and we're going to intend together that new earth, 5D earth, fourth density, whatever you want to call it, is becoming clearer and clearer to us every day. Every moment of every day and night, we move closer into that version of new earth that we see. We see it in our mind, we feel it in our hearts. Now, what would that place be like? How would it be different from the earth that we're on now? Would animals be different? Would work be different? Would medicine be different? What about education? What about entertainment? How would that be different? Government? Living structures? Transportation? How would energy be different? Just kind of look around and sense it and feel it and focus on it. And the more you focus on it, the more you actually bring it into our current 3D reality. As 3D just kind of fades away and this new dimension of Earth, this new version of Earth solidifies around us based on the time we spend thinking about it and drawing it here, drawing it to us. And now imagine that this sense of a better place becomes available to all. When they're ready, we're not going to force anybody to see anything they're not ready to see, to feel anything they're not ready to feel, to sense anything they're not ready to sense. We're going to let everybody around us come into the awakening at their own pace so that it's comfortable and healthy for them. But we'll already be there so that we can help guide them into the sense of gnosis, the sense of knowing. We're there as their guides because we went a little bit before them to kind of light the way and set the torches ablaze so that as they go, they can see it a little easier and understand it a little quicker. And finally, let's imagine together, intending that we understand the glitches, those who have gone before into this quantum awakening, this understanding of reality matrix, this deeper understanding of life, that we understand the glitches more. They make sense to us, that we know what they're about, where they're coming from, why they're occurring, when they occur, understanding them a little bit deeper every day until it becomes like secondhand knowledge, that gnosis internally. We see the glitch, we understand its meaning, we know where it's coming from. And all of that is developing for us because we're there already. We see the changes, we recognize them. Now we ask to understand them. So I'll just go silent for 3 minutes and we can focus on understanding the glitches around us as they occur, bringing more people into an awakening or awareness, and helping to bring the new earth here quicker through our focus. Okay, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. You can let go of your grounding cord and let it be absorbed in the earth until you want to send down another one, or you can stay connected and grounded and not have to remove that at all. It'll stay in place. And you can start to move around, move your shoulders, maybe your neck and your head a little bit, and come back. There we go. I don't know about you, but that felt like a long 3 minutes.
Oh, it did to me too.
It was 3 minutes. It was from 9:32 to 9:35. Felt like, I don't know, five at least. It felt long.
It did feel long, and I was sitting there and I was getting chills as we sat there longer and longer. I was feeling the chills, feeling the connectedness, so I didn't mind.
I didn't mind either. I was feeling very lightheaded and very not dizzy at all, just flighty, just very
We have a
flight.
mellow, loving group here. You can really feel it's a very positive energy. So
Really,
thank you guys for participating.
yeah, it's just amazing, and it's so nice that the Power of Eight books with all that research in them show miracles occurring for people who come together in groups of 3, 4, 5, 10, 6. It
Hmm.
doesn't. Eight is a random number.
Yeah.
It's like she likes that number. It's the infinity symbol.
And besides this group, you have two groups that you're a part of as well, right?
Too, because I'm doing the master course with Lynne McTaggart, and it's a live course every year. It's about $500. You can get an early bird joining discount, and you spend the whole year um, in a group that Lynn's put you together with people you don't know. And it's people participating from all over the world. There's about, I think, 1,000 of us. So I have that group, which I've really gotten to know, and I love attending with them
Is that
live.
broken up into smaller groups, or is it 1,000 people on these online?
She'll do a Zoom room, and like 700 people will show up. And she does like a lesson a week for like 4 weeks. And then she does another live lesson every 3 months after that. So she teaches people what's in the book, what we know about in the Power of Eight, how to power up, how to hold an attention. And my Thursday night group is just a private group with my sister.
Locals, right?
Yeah, my friends local. And so we're using Hangouts for the private group, and we're using Zoom for the Lynne McTaggart group.
Oh, I thought you guys actually get together in person for the hangout.
Nope, nope, we do it on Hangouts. I get together with my group that does crystal bowls in the Himalayan salt cave. That one we physically get in our cars and drive to the salt cave and get out and sit down in the salt cave and do the crystal bowl meditations about twice a month.
Wow, that sounds fun.
Oh, it is. That one is really, the bowls. The woman who plays it, Kathy, is just a master at crystal bowls, and she'll often bring 18 of them, and she'll play 18 in the space of an hour.
Inside this cave where it's all echoing around and stuff.
It's full of Himalayan salt on the ground and the walls and the ceilings.
Wow, that sounds like some ascension
Yeah,
environment or conditions, I should say.
there's a good group. Like on a solstice, like 30 will turn up, and then I go for the new moon and the full moon every month, and then we'll have like 12 show up out of the 30, and I've been doing it for years. It's just an amazing experience. For me, it's very balancing. It's a chance for me to get myself back into balance.
Absolutely.
But imagine our group, right? We're big, right?
How big is that cave?
Oh man, you could fit like 40 people in there.
So our circle at East City would fit inside there, okay?
I don't know, because didn't we have 100? And did we
Uh,
have like 50 show up for the meditation?
It'd be crammed, huh?
We'd be touching each other. We'd be like stuffed in there like
Like,
sardines.
doing the meditation. Well,
Together from this group in that kind of an environment with bowls, crystal bowls going. I mean, we would just be sent off into the ethers. We'd have to go get people back. We'd have to bring them back in.
I know that one that Sandy had in Austin. Wow, I was like, actually, it was a third eye one, and it had me so dizzy. I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, did she just play the one, just the third eye? Because I have the third eye and I have the solar plexus.
Yeah, she just played that one, and It was wild because you could hear the sound going around the room, and I opened my eyes and I expected her.
Left,
I
right.
I expected her thing to be going with the sound around the room, but it wasn't. It was like she was going really slow, and the sound was going around like this. I was like,
Sound does its
wow.
own thing in the crystal bowls too, because you'll hear it coming from here, but she'll be over there, and then you'll hear it bouncing back and forth.
Exactly. And I guess that going around you just sort of tricks your brain into thinking you're spinning or something. I
I
don't know
think it's
why I
the
got dizzy.
right thing. I think it's a Merkaba activation, you know, which is where you get to astral travel while you're awake. If you get your Merkaba going, you can travel through different dimensions while you're awake. It's like lucid dreaming, while your body just sits there meditating. I've never done it, but
Yeah,
I've heard it's possible.
sounds fun.
It does with the Drunvalo Melchizedek courses.
Yeah.
He's even said that a few people. So, the Merkaba, you've got these two triangles that are inverted, which I just happen to have here. Why we just go on to topics that I'm prepared for. I don't know. There's a Merkaba. So, like if you're a man, this bottom triangle will spin one way, and then the top triangle will spin the other. And if you're a woman, the bottom triangle will spin the opposite direction of the man, and the top triangle will spin the opposite direction of the bottom one. And so you've got this one doesn't spin, it's argonite.
Hmm.
But if you can imagine these two triangles, which are 3D, right?
Right.
3D. So they make a square as well. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So if you imagine those spinning in opposite directions, they go
Star
faster and
David.
faster, faster. Yeah, Star David. They go faster and faster and faster. And pyramid there. I think you can see it, maybe from the tip there going down
Right.
until your astral body, which I guess with your spirit body as well, and your etheric and the mental body, just take off. They just take off in the Merkaba apparently to travel interdimensionally,
So
which would
that's
be
what we
interesting.
need.
If you didn't know how to do it, you'd hope you were on like a bungee cord so you can come right back.
So what you're saying is our group needs a fleet of Merkabas, and then we're
We
we're out of here.
are a fleet of Merkabas.
Right.
Apparently, we've got the Merkaba in us, like it goes down to our knees and it just goes right above our head. So if you sit in the meditating position, you're completely in your Merkaba. You've tucked your knees in, you tuck your legs up about underneath. So apparently, we are the Merkaba. We are the starship. That if anybody needs rescuing, we'll be able to do it because we'll know how to take off. With
And
a
that's what Sherry had that instance where somebody showed up at the her swimming pool in a
yeah,
Merkaba.
an orange
So so
Merkaba.
if we all figure it out, we'll come visit you, and you'll have a whole fleet of Merkabas at your swimming pool, Sherry. Freak you out. Think how freaky that would be.
I know, wouldn't that be cool? And then Dronvalo says that if your Merkaba starts spinning, like how they did it in that
Like wobbly.
the Contact movie with Jodie Foster, where it was like she was spinning in all directions instead of
Yeah.
spinning around and around. It was like that.
Yeah.
Some people's Merkaba goes like that, and then their physical bodies disappear. The people cannot see them in the room anymore. They take their physical body with them.
Wait, so it's a good thing or a bad thing? It sounds like something's going haywire
Nobody's
to me.
made it to a comment on whether it's good or bad. It's a way to
Nobody's
become
come
rid of
back
them.
after that happened, huh?
They do come back as soon as they stop spinning their Merkaba on purpose. They come back.
So it's like a chant or a meditation they do to
It's
spin it,
both,
or
and it's really complicated. If you read the book, I'm like, this is far too complicated. Nature is not complicated. Nature is simple. Nature always takes the easiest route. Have you ever noticed that?
well, see, no matter what you come across stuff like that, it seems like there's always someone who does it naturally. Like it's like their
Exactly.
gift to just do it.
Yeah,
So
not
it's
not have a complicated, I think, 18 steps. So
right.
I did both courses. I did the books, I did the videos, and then I put it away. I'm like, that's too complicated for me. I needed an instant Merkaba activation tool.
Yeah. And I think we're going to start seeing instant gifts coming online like that. And you know what I also think? I think as we see other people get gifts, I think just seeing them and seeing them do it, we're going to I wonder if I can do that. And
Trigger
then
off.
it's just a matter of us not even knowing that we have that ability. And once we try it, it's sort of like,
Yeah.
I use this example all the time. It's like, if your cable got turned on and you're waiting all day for them to turn your cable on, but you never turned the TV on and checked it, you know what I mean? You
Never
never
know
che-
your cable's on.
you never know it's connected. So how will we know if we don't even know how to use these gifts? You can see how it's gonna begin to come online as we see other people. They start explaining their experiences. You're like, oh well, that was happening to me, so maybe another
And then maybe
step,
you
and I'll be at that point.
well, wait a minute. If he can do it, then I can do it. We're both human. I've always taken that jump. Like whenever I was nervous about something, like giving a speech at school or, giving birth or, whatever was a big, like, oh my God, this is quite serious. I would always think of the people who did it successfully before me. And I'm like, I'm no greater or less than them. If they could do it, I can do it. No problem.
You are spot on, and it's really amazed me how many people don't think like that, because that's always been my thing. Whenever something was hard, I'm like, well, other people can do it. I
Other
can
people
figure
can
it
do
out.
this. If they can do it, surely I can do it. So it's like, why stress it? Why worry?
Right. But other people, I guess, feel sort of, I don't know, if you see these young kids on their phone, and it's not very inspiring because, you see them, their thumbs are going like 1,000 miles an hour, and you're like, I'll never be able to do that. But you can
But
do it just a little slower. you know?
if you want to, there has to be for me a motivation. I have to want to do something now. I've gotten to the point in my life where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to focus on the things that matter to me, and I have to want to do it. Otherwise, I'm just going to let it go. Let somebody else do it in terms of a new skill or something.
That's how
You know,
my dad was. But see, it helped me out a lot, whenever, because it was always, it was great for me to save the day, so like the power would go out and you're like, son, you know how to set the time on that dang VCR, and he'd act aggravated about it. And I'm like, oh, I figured it out, Pops, and I go over there and pull out the book or figure it out or whatever I got to do, but I'd figure it out. And I didn't mind being the hero or doing the task for my dad that now that I'm adult, I know he could have done it. He just didn't want to, like
he
what you're
just didn't
saying.
want to. It's like,
He didn't have the energy. Like, I don't want to
I
figure that
really want to
out.
learn how to do this. No.
And he knew if he had me do it, I would remember the next time. If he
Yeah.
did it, he'll have to pull the book out and read it every time he has to do it, because that's how it is when you get older. You just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
how do I do that again?
Like, wait a minute. How did I do that?
Yeah, you
It's
get
like
too bogged down.
contacting Amazon customer service. I swear to God, how often do you have to do that? Not often, but every time you do need to talk to them on the phone, they move the contact information of how to get a phone call through to Amazon. Have you ever tried to call them?
No.
It's very hard. In fact, it's getting harder to call most companies now. You go online, you go to their website, you hit contact, and then you get a whole bunch of FAQ.
Yeah, they want to make sure you check the
Yeah,
FAQs before, or you'll hit contact. There won't even be a phone number. There'll be an email, or there'll be one of those chat windows that pop up to talk to someone live.
and then you'll be
But
lucky if there's somebody live at the moment you hit the chat.
exactly, because
So
it's
it's
only
kind of
working
interesting.
hours.
Yeah. I mean, I know it takes human hours to man those phones. So they're trying to cut down on actually receiving phone calls because they have to pay more staff to answer your call.
Yeah.
But I'm always persistent when it comes to that. I will hit every link on the page until I find that way to talk to them. If it's
You
there,
have to be persistent,
yeah,
or you'll never get through.
no, no. And it's really interesting now because in the olden days with those on hold, all those options, you could
Yeah.
just like pretend like you didn't have a touchstone phone or pretend you didn't understand the options. Because if you hit one option, it'll give you another 9 options. Then you hit one, and then it'll give you another 5. And then you hit one, it'll give you another 3. And so you just hold until somebody answers or they say, if none of these options are good, hit 0.
Right.
Well, that's all gone now. They've learned. Too many of us are doing that. We're not
Too
hitting
many
the
of
option.
us hit 0, even
So
though
you
it
know what
says,
that
please
does?
listen to all your choices before selecting it. 0 immediately.
And now
That's
it's
how
like,
I am.
just listen, listen, listen. And then it goes, okay, obviously we can't help you. You've not selected any options. Goodbye. Did a recorded voice just hang up on me? How dare it hang up on me? That was so rude. So now they make you hit an option.
What if it said something like, we're sorry we're having to disconnect, especially as hard as we made this number to find.
Now that you spent 36 hours finding this telephone number, we're just going to give you pre-recorded options. Nobody is going to talk to you ever.
It does seem like that. And if you do, it feels like you're getting somebody in a different country, on the phone.
Yeah. And then if you do get forced into hitting options that you don't want to hit, it's that moment when you know you hit the wrong one. You're like, darn, I needed to hit 5 and I just hit 4. And then it's like too late. You can't go back.
Yeah, and you can learn some of the secrets, like star on some systems will
Oh,
send
I
you
don't know
back,
about
and
star.
yeah,
All
the
right,
star is the trick. Always try that if you mess up, try to go
okay.
back.
They'll put me back one. And then what's the other thing? Some of the options only have recorded information, and other options have a person at the end. So whatever's most dire in these selections, choose the most dire, thinking that somebody will actually talk to you about it. If you
Right.
choose the easy ones, they'll just give you a pre-recording and send
But
you back
don't.
to
But
the
if you
website.
go too far, then they'll tell you to hang up and call 911. See, gas
Yeah.
leaks, somebody needing
Oh,
an
yeah,
ambulance or
when you
something.
go into that stuff with gas leaks and electrical. Oh my God. It's such a
Please
complicated.
hang up and call 911. That's so
Well,
funny
I
that they
think it
tell
was
people that.
easier when there were a lot of companies servicing us because they had a lot of people working for them. And now that everything's consolidated into the hands of like one company for cable and one company for energy, they're so big that they just can't answer your call. But
But
the
doesn't
little
it seem like
companies,
at some point it will flip and it'll be like you're calling one number for everything? They're like, "Oh, Mr. Robinson, nice to see you today. We see you're
isn't
late
that
on your
the plan? Isn't it
yeah."
one world government and one world store, Amazon, one world energy, whoever that's going to be, and then wouldn't like entertainment be either Disney or Comcast? Like, are there any other players besides those two right now?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and as soon as Disney marries Comcast, that's it. Your entertainment world will be coming from one entity,
And
right?
this is all after the hoax alien invasion that we can consolidate all this stuff.
Yeah, I don't like consolidation. I'm going back with the Michael Tellinger Ubuntu, and that's the breaking up of everything. Get local, get local companies, local services. Make it human again, and instead of making it really far away. Some distant company that has no human connections anymore. Yeah,
That was actually one of the things when we were talking about that whole hoax alien invasion last week that I
yeah.
failed to mention, and that's the religious view of the one world government, which is I don't know how many people were screaming at their screen at me. What about the one world government? This sounds like it's leading right to the one world government, you know.
Yeah, yeah. It's
So
true.
I apologize, you guys. Yeah, that's definitely an oversight on
Well,
my
we just
part. I
we
should have
just
brought it
no
up.
in mine. We just got so wrapped up in what we were debating because we're
Mhm.
talking about different, are aliens good, are aliens bad, are aliens real, are aliens false? We just forgot to check the chat. We should do that more often.
Yeah.
See if
Well, I
we
didn't see anybody in the chat. I just know from my own Christian upbringing that I
ah.
would have been screaming at my screen 10 years ago, like, "It's the one world government. Can't you see?" Yeah.
But it makes sense if you're going to be a leader
Yeah.
and you want to rule at the very very top. It's kind of good to think you've got a system that controls the whole planet, if there is a planet, the whole world, all of
Yeah.
Earth, whether it's flat or round, doesn't matter. You're going to want those systems in place. You don't want just local control, you know?
Oh
So
yeah.
it's really interesting to see how it's all led up to that. But there are people on the internet, they're kind of young, and they are trying to figure out how to create a oh god, in the video it showed the original guy, not CERN, who actually invented the internet. Remember that guy? I can't remember his name. Blonde, sandy hair, and he used to get all the credit for inventing the web, not the internet, the
I
web.
thought Dan Quell got. Wasn't it him that got or somebody got the? I was like, what? I never heard he created the internet.
I mean, now it says CERN. Wikipedia doesn't Wikipedia say CERN created the internet, which is complete BS. We know it wasn't CERN. But anyway, they showed him briefly, and his intention was for all the computers in the world to be linked onto a system that was run by the people in the system. So now a bunch of people, young people, are getting together, and they're going to come up with an alternate internet. And it's not going to have Google, and it's not going to have Facebook, and it's not going to have PayPal. There'll be no control mechanisms.
Oh
It
yeah,
will
yeah. It was Al Gore. I'm sorry, Amy corrected me. Yeah, it wasn't Dan. It was Al
That's
Gore.
insane. Al Gore invented the internet. I mean, please, please. But can you imagine that? I guess they're basing it on blockchain, which I don't
Well,
know.
here it says Washington Post says Gore deserves internet credit. Some say. So
Nah.
there's Look around. There's stuff about it. That's funny though.
Well, that's a timeline jump for
Wait,
me.
wait, wait. He also created global warming, didn't he?
Yes, is the
And
answer.
the internet to spread
Yes,
the to
yes, he
spread the
did.
good news around, right?
And he brought our awareness to the word chit or chad. What was it that didn't fall off
Chats. Yeah, the
in Florida
chats.
that lost him an election? But these people are basing it on blockchain and crypto. You know how based on crypto, where we're literally going to have to eventually.
Creating everything out of paper. We created money out of paper. We got into plastics. We started creating credit cards, right?
So we
Well,
really had a paper age and we had a plastic age.
so it only makes sense that as we enter the etheric realm or the internet or the unseen realm, right, that our money would also follow and be made of ether. And that's why they call it ether. Ether. What do they call the one block uh, cryptocurrency?
Some kind of instability in the way that they were
Oh,
reporting growth.
Ethereum.
Ethereum, but it's
Ethereum's
gone.
gone. It's
Yeah,
gone. Let me try to open it up
yeah, it's a bummer. I know.
here.
Ethereum, it's too big. They want smaller coins. But apparently, I mean, I've read the way that banks are going to go. The government wants to get rid of paper and coin currency and just do it all digital, which would be in the ether. It would be in the ether,
Yeah. And that's
Ethernet.
what Sherry's saying. Internet is Ethernet. In fact, your cord is called Ethernet cable.
Yeah, and
Right.
mine too. One that I put in the side of my computer.
Right.
I
Pumping
call
that
it
cash in, right?
Ethernet cable.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what would you call that age? It's the digital age, right? Is it are we in the digital age
Hmm.
instead of the stone age or almost?
I don't know, because when I think of digital, I think of opposed to analog, you know? So, like in an age of analog
What
music, everything's like
what would
ones
you
and
call
zeros.
a computer? You're in the computer age. What would you call that? Would that be digital? Would that be
Digital.
okay?
That would be. But once you hit the internet, then is it the ethers or is it
Well,
that
the
different?
obvious next step is to get rid of all the wires and all the computers and do it all through mental telepathy. You know, the obvious next step after the stage that we're going through now is to do it all through here.
So at this point, we just need Toto to pull the curtain back, and we're
Exactly.
there.
And maybe that's why we came here. We came to pull the curtain back. We are all curtain pullers in this community. I have noticed we are tugging on all the curtains everywhere, you know, just to
Definitely.
see what's behind them.
Let's tear down the veil, you guys.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for a wonderful meditation.
That was fun.
Nicola was
Thank you
talking.
guys for the
She
suggestion.
enjoyed it. So many people enjoyed it. David, I wanted to apologize for Rita. It was an accident. I think she told you earlier. She
Yeah,
didn't mean to troll
didn't you
you
fall
last week.
asleep and like thumb on something and it like blocked him or something? She was like
Yeah,
sleep.
yeah, it said Rita has timed out David for 300 seconds, and I was like, what did he say? And then I saw she had taken away his comment, and I looked and it was just something nice, and I was like, what is Rita up to? Her
And
phone's
what
going
did she say?
haywire.
She came back and she said, "Oh, I fell asleep with my hand on the phone."
Right? Yeah.
You know they call that butt dialing, don't they? When suddenly you pick up the phone and nobody's talking to you because they just somehow called your
Right.
number by putting their phone in their pocket.
Yeah. So let's see, that would be finger
Trolling.
uh, trolling, or let's see, boinking, as the Boinkmeister calls it. When you boink somebody, kick somebody out, you boink them. So
Boink, that's a nice word.
she's
That's
sleep
a
boinking.
word. Boink.
Yeah, with like a rubber hammer. I guess it's supposed to sound less violent if you boink somebody with a hammer,
That
a
sounds
man
good.
hammer.
I've actually accidentally removed somebody's comment once. I was on my phone. And sometimes if you just tap it right, this big white box comes up and it has three choices.
Right.
Go to channel and it's time them out
High
or
user or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
block user or remove comment. And you're trying to hit go to channel because you want to see their channel. And you hit like something else that's really bad. And you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
I hate that when you go to click on it and people are chatting, so it keeps moving up, and you're like trying to catch it and click
Oh, I
on
know.
it.
And then you hit the wrong person's icon. You're like, no, I wanted the one
Right.
three places up.
Exactly. So it's almost easier if you scroll it and then do it, because it
Much
doesn't.
easier and much
Yeah,
easier on a computer, on a PC than on a phone, you know?
sure is.
We love you, Rita. We know you wouldn't do that on purpose. I'm glad David knows. Someone told David. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Accidents happen. No biggie. Love you all, he says.
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
Win the lottery, David, because you were just like selected out of a group chat like that. So that means something else synchronistic will happen on the
yeah.
positive.
Go buy it. Well, he should have bought it last week, I guess. But who knows? There's no time, right? Go buy a lottery ticket.
Go buy a lottery ticket, David.
Thank you, Ben Jojo.
Hey, Ben Jojo. We were talking about you earlier. Did you know that? Did she know? Was she in the room?
Nope, she came in after you were talking about her.
To the room by talking.
Yeah, you called her. You manifested her.
We
Thank
manifested you,
manifesting
Ben
me in this-
Jojo.
She says that. Thank you for manifesting me in this chat.
Yay!
How did
We're
she
talking
know?
about Uni Rock in the early days of how we all met there.
That's crazy. That's wild.
Yeah, that's funny.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Eileen. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you, Shane, so much. And thank you guys, everybody in the community, for intending together. That was so awesome. I love
Absolutely. It. Well, thank you guys so much. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Bye. Bye.
If you'd like to support the work I do, go to paypal.me/UOTF. Thanks.